So I probably won't even get to take my picture because I stayed up late till 3 in the morning, and I'll probably wind up sleeping late, and by then, you know, it won't, the house will warm up or something. But it doesn't matter, because right now, according to one site, all the sites, I mean, it's like 49 degrees or 50 out, and the degrees inside the house is plummeting because the heat's completely off. Completely off, okay? Anyway, I just sent this to my roommate. According to one site, it's supposed to be only 42 degrees early this morning. So let's see what the temperature is downstairs when I take my picture. I'm mad at you too because you cater to these assholes and turn the heat completely off. Parentheses, something Joe, who owns his own house, says is an asinine thing to do, because when you inevitably have to turn the heat back on again, the system will have to work that much harder to get up to the degrees you want the temperature inside the house to be. Parentheses, rather than turn it way down, parentheses, like I used to do before you let me know about the landlord's cheap bitch of a wife calling you up to complain that the goddamn furnace turned on a day when it was overcast, not at all sunny out, and only in the low 50s outside. According to one site, it is only 49 degrees outside right now here in, insert the name of my city, insert the comma, my roommate's name, 49 fucking degrees, and the temperature inside this house has slowly been plummeting, equals I have periodically checked this thermostat, and right now it's barely 65 degrees downstairs and cold in the upstairs bathroom. Like I said, I got to be toasty warm in this house in the wintertime, yet I'm expected to freeze now that it's no longer winter. L. And then P.S. Joe told me that what your landlord and his wife do, i.e. calling you up and complaining the second they notice that the furnace is turned on, that's in parentheses, in regards to the temperature inside this house is illegal, equals I could report them both and have them both arrested for engaging in bullying and intimidation tactics meant to scare you/me into not turning on the heat in this house even when it's cold outside. Like I said, I didn't even know. I didn't even know. See how you can be so intimidated? Like, people can intimidate you and brainwash you and whatnot. I didn't know. I didn't know. I was wondering. I'm like, when's the cutoff point? I'm thinking, God, it's already May. Maybe it's already a cutoff point. And, you know, no. Joe sent me the goddamn thing from Massachusetts. The cutoff point is June 15th. Now, people who don't know their rights would think, oh, I even said it to Joe. I'm like, how can that be? That's summer. He's like, no. By the law, it's considered winter. It's considered winter, and because it can still get cold, and that's the Massachusetts law. Just most people don't know that. So landlords can intimidate people and be like, you don't need to have heat at all. It's summer, it's spring or whatnot, you know. Nope. If any of you are shocked, I was shocked. June 15th. Up until June 15th, the landlord is required to provide heat for tenants, and legally tenants are allowed to have it be 64 degrees at night and 68 degrees during the day. And he shouldn't even be pulling that shit about how you can open up the window and the sun will heat up the house. Doesn't care. No, you're allowed to turn on the heat and have it. You know what I mean? They're just sick. They're sick fucks who get $69 a month and are gonna bitch. You know? We don't take advantage. And then they lie about it. Then he lied. And knowing my roommate, he probably didn't even stand his ground. He probably backed down and let them think, you know, he knows and I know that it's a lie. It's a fucking lie. It's a lie. The day that she called up and bitched, the day he called up and bitched wasn't a lie. The heat turned on because it was set for in the winter, which is like around 68, or, you know, it was set for in the winter, and then because it was colder inside the house, he was right then, you know, that you could just open a window and it'll get sunny, who knows. But the day she called up, and he thought that it was just her, and I thought it was just her. And this past Saturday, he said, no, I told her to call you up because it was 70 degrees outside. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. You're a fucking liar. Just like Miriam's a liar, you're a liar. I know. The news knows. The news knows. It was fucking only one morning when I was walking home. It was like 9 a.m. It was only like 40 degrees outside. He was home the day, and she called up and bitched, and he said, look, insert a name, it turned on because it's set to 58 degrees, which means it was 50, and he tried to later say that it was, because he's just talking out of his ass, because they know they have to have the heat during the winter. I'm sure they're not the only landlords who do shit like this. Landlords try to pull shit with their tenants all the time. Okay, they know that during the winter they don't have a choice. The heat has to come on, and technically, according to the legal thing, it's 64. But I mean, he had it on like 68, 69, whatever. But even at night, but and 68 during the day. So they know they can't say anything in the winter. But then the moment it's been some warm days and they think it's not winter, and they think you can just heat up the house during the day and it should be fine and whatnot, they have a wood burning stove in the fucking house. Then they change their tune. Then they call and complain. I can fucking sue them. Oh. I'm so agitated, and I'm mad at my roommate. I don't want to be, but I am, because he caters to them, and he tells me what they say, and then he's not home, but he turned the heat off, you know? It was just like that other day. He had it completely off. It was freezing in here. I turned it on, and then I asked him, why do you turn it off? Why don't you just turn it down into, say, 60 or something, and then at least won't fall below that in here or something? And he's like, and he told me, because they call and fucking complain.